Everybody, good morning. Good morning. We got the fish report Saturday morning with my good buddy Captain Al Clowers, who's had just a phenomenal time. Once that wind stopped blowing, Al's been putting together some great content out there fishing. Real quick before we get going, though, today is ReelQuick Fishing Saturday morning fish reports. Captain Al has one of Daniel's rods. Captain Pablo has one of Daniel's rods. The things are incredible. The way that the reel seat works, comes on and off now, super smooth, super easy. We'll show you that. Maybe Captain Al has it in his rack there. We'll bring that down, show it all to you, show you what's going on with that system. And Daniel's just about ready to go live. There it is. Yeah. I turned that on to Captain Al about a year ago, right?
Yeah.
Look at that. Reel seat, gang. No ferrule screws. Talk about that for a minute.
So you just turn this little knob with your fingernail. If you got fingernails, if you're a nail biter, you might want to carry a little flathead screwdriver. You just turn it and it comes right off. The rod's kind of long for this situation, but
yeah,
let me get a screwdriver and I'll show you exactly how to do it.
Yeah, perfect. Gang, if you guys caught fish this week, if you've been out fishing, why the wind slowed down and wasn't blowing, give us a call. Get on the line. Let us know what's going on out on the water. But Captain Al's right here with the ReelQuick system. Show that. Check that thing out.
So you just turn this like that. I believe that's the direction. Let me go. I wasn't very prepared here. So.
I know. I threw you under the bus last second.
Yeah, so basically, you turn that little knob and this thing comes right off, just like that.
There you go. Yeah.
So, if you have say a 20 wide and it's spooled up with 80 pound, and you can put it anywhere from 80 pound top shot to a 130-pound quick top shot, and you want to change your rod. If you got a flimsy rod and then you want to change your rail rod, you just undo that screw and slide it right on there. Apparently he has rod holders for the reels and everything too for the boat, so you can outfit your boat so it's all ReelQuick ready, and you can change all your gear. It's really good for everybody, but it's really, really good for the guy that's ordering a new quiver of rods, and they can all be outfitted with the ReelQuick system. And it's phenomenal. And there's no I think they call them the ferrule screws or whatever you call them on the regular reel seats. They don't get loose. You don't have to worry about the clients, fishing and fishing and fishing. Then your reel pops off because you didn't check the ferrule screws.
Exactly.
Which happens to me every now and then. I'm like, oh man, let me tighten that thing. Let me tighten that thing up for you.
Yeah, more times than we want to admit that's happened. It's
Right.
kind of a scary event when they're standing there with the reel in one hand and the rod in the other.
Right. Yeah. And on those busy 30-day stretches that can happen, Can't get to everything. But these things are phenomenal. And I believe all the rods are all Seekers. He's outfitting them with Seekers, but you can get with Daniel and put them on any rod you want as long as you do it ahead of time.
Absolutely. And we'll show you another little cool video Daniel and I made at the PCS show. But thanks for showing that system, Al. And Al loves that thing. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, Daniel's going to go live with his website here any day now. He just got a whole bunch of new product into his shop, and he's working on anodizing them right now. So we'll show you a cool little commercial with that. Gang, once again, I want to reiterate the fact that if you guys been out fishing this week, give us a call. Justin's going to join us in a little bit. Mikey from Fish and Sips is going to join us. Pablo's out fishing rockfish right now. He's going to join us live from out on the water. We got a really good show for you guys this morning. Hang in there with us, and we're going to talk to Captain Al. I don't know if you guys saw him yesterday or the day before, but he's been out on the water. He's been in the back bay. He's been over in the lakes. We're going to talk to Al about that as soon as he puts that reel back on that rod and gets ready for the show. And gang, I just want to thank you all for all the support and everything that's going on right now as far as fishing goes. we got that big meeting coming up on the 16th and 17th, the Fish and Game Commission meeting. I'll throw that QR code up on the screen right now. You guys can check that. Put that on your calendar. We need every one of you to be on board helping us save fishing. It's super important to save fishing. So let us know if you can help us. Let us know if you can be on that call. If you want to know what you need to talk about and what you need to say, the QR code's up there on the screen. Grab that, put that on your calendar. Good morning, Andrew. How are you? You want to talk? Tell everybody what's been going on. Have you been out fishing? All right, hang in there. Let me get you live on the show here, buddy. Yeah, gang. Andrew, go ahead, bud. You're live.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good,
I'm
good.
actually out fishing right now, the Back Bay. Just got a short halibut.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, this week's been good. I went out with the kids. The kids they seen me catch a legal halibut. None of them wanted to touch it, but I tried giving the rod to them. But yeah, we went out looking for the grunion too. The most grunion I've ever seen ever. It was like a carpet on the beach from the jetty all the way down. Just grunion everywhere.
Wait a minute.
What jetty? What jetty?
What was that?
Captain Al asked, what jetty? Where were you at where you saw the grunion?
It was at Ocean Beach.
At OB, Big Al.
Yep.
Nice. Nice.
That's crazy that you saw that many grunion. I thought they were extinct.
Right? They make you think they are, right?
Yeah, kind of pitiful that you can only have 30, right, Andrew?
Yeah, and now we can't even grab them till June or July.
Right, but that night you were out there, you got limits in a few seconds, right?
That's right. Limits for my niece too.
How wonderful. Well, we got Captain Al on the show today with us. Why don't you tell everybody what it was like working with Captain Al? He kind of dialed you in that Back Bay, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. We went out one time on a exploratory trip, that was exclusive to the members. And he's pretty much, man, he's a wealth of knowledge. That whole time we were back here, he was just telling me these spots, showing me how to fish it, giving me the inside intel on everything back here. And, I've been successful. I was able to catch my first legal halibut because of him, and I'm catching more right now.
Nice.
All right. And you're in the Back Bay fishing right now, right?
That's right.
Are you in the back or just kind of by Pepper Park?
I'm right there by the Sweetwater Channel.
Perfect. There's some big ones right there, boy.
Yep. I think I found a little spot. They keep hitting the Promar jig. So.
Oh, nice. The Akara?
Yep.
Nice, Andrew.
Yeah, nice. We caught a nice one on the swim bait the other day right there too. So don't hesitate to wind around them swim baits in that 6 to 8 foot of water. Long as there's not a bunch of eelgrass, you're good.
Yeah, it looks pretty clear right now. It's nice and flat glass.
Perfect.
And where else can you call in and talk to the master of the Back Bay while you're fishing the Back Bay?
I could call Captain Al. Just call his number right now.
Isn't that amazing?
It's great. Yep, having him in my contact list.
It's absolutely amazing. Well, it looks like we got Pablo jumping in here. He's out fishing reds right now, Andrew. So check back in with us if you catch a big halibut before the end of the show. But thanks for jumping on here. We really appreciate you, buddy.
All righty.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew.
All right, and you can check out all of Andrew's reports over on the community at Your Saltwater Guide. Let's check in with Pablo. Pablo, what's happening, brother?
Hey, just getting into the zone here, trolled around for yellowtail, but the water is really cold. It's actually warmer up here north where I'm at. If you guys follow the game plan, I'm at the north end of my game plan. We're just in the zone, so I just got to put the weights on, and we're going to splash them down. So I just wanted to check in real quick. And then if you want to put me on the back burner, or if you want me to come back on when we start hooking up, whatever you want me to do.
Yeah, Al and I'll keep an eye on you in the back there, and when you get ready, we'll bring you right back in here because I know there's a lot of people that want to see you catching fish.
Yeah, and hi to everybody. Good morning, Captain Dave. Good morning, Captain Al. Got a great crew with me today.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey,
Yeah,
the water looks pretty calm.
dude, it is so nice out here. Like, it is epic out here.
Beautiful.
Epic and classy. So the water up here is actually like 56, and down in La Jolla it was like 53, 54. So pretty
Man,
big difference. But yeah, so we're just gonna go slam dunk some bottom critters, and then whatever. The day is young. We'll see what
Yeah,
else
it
we
is.
do.
Well, we're
how
looking
how
forward.
long a
Check back
trip
in
are
with you
you
guys.
on?
Did you hear?
We're just cruising.
Did you hear what Al said?
No,
How long of a trip are you on?
till 2 ish.
Oh, perfect.
But they're friends of mine, so we don't really care.
There,
Boy.
there they
As
are.
long as
Look
it
at
stays like that, right?
Yeah, that's it.
show
Yeah.
us. Show us those people again, because I can't believe anybody's claiming to be your friend. There you go, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to keep an eye on you in the background, Pablo. As soon as you start catching, we'll bring you back in here. All right. Thanks, buddy.
I'm gonna pop you up here and tell me if this is good or not.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
see.
where you got 40,000 views last week on your motors. That's perfect.
Good view on that. All right, I'm gonna keep it right there, and yeah, just I'll hear you because we're just gonna be drifting. So
turn it a little bit. Well, it's to our right, but I don't know what it is on you.
I'm gonna probably have him pull up in that back corner there. That's why I put it off to the side a little
All
bit.
right, gotcha, perfect.
All right. We'll be watching you.
Okay.
All right, Captain Al, back to you and me. So you were in the Back Bay a couple days ago with a young man and his 2 boys. Tell us about that. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was great. You know, I had to move him off on one of those horrible windy days. So when I was looking at the tide chart, I got lucky. He originally booked the afternoon trip. So I looked at the tide and it was low at 10 o'clock. So I'm like, hey, let's start at 10. And we can go get ghost shrimp, because I didn't want to go and burn up 3 hours the day before just to get bait like I do on some of them. I have to go get shrimp. But so it worked out. I said, hey, I didn't tell him we were going to go get bait and be on live until he got to the boat. And they were cool with it. He had 2 really nice boys, 12 and 14, or 12 and 16 or something like that. But very nice group. So we rolled over to the the ghost shrimp grounds, put the boat on the beach, and got out and went and caught ghost shrimp. And then we went to the back and anchored, filled up the chum tube, deployed the chum tube, and we ended up with 10 bonefish, 4 ray type of sharks, and a smooth hound and a spotted bay bass in about 3 hours of fishing, actually. But they had a really good time, and that was post super frontal situation, so the water was dropped down about 5 degrees back there, and we still got them, so that Back Bay stuff is really good right now, and it's going to be good for another 4 or 5 or maybe 6 weeks or so. Yeah, there's halibut. That the trip before that, I got lucky, and I'm like, hey, tide stopped. We already caught 15 or 20 bonefish and 100-pound rays and everything. I go, we got about 20 minutes. Let's go wind around some swim baits over here, my halibut zone where Andrew's at. And third cast, he caught a 25-incher, I think it was. Yeah, so yeah, it was good. So I mean, if you want bonefish and bay sharks, you got kids, or even the adults. A lot of people like mud marlin, whatever. But I'll tell you what, when that rod goes off, everything changes. They have a lot of fun. Like I said, the other day, the big fish was a solid 100-pound bat ray. But the middle of the bay is biting too. I do a little 4-hour trip for that stuff, for the bass and the sand bass, the spotties. On my game plans, I talk about the areas that are biting, and it's biting good, for a while. But the Riviera is locked and loaded and ready to go. I have been at the lake because, like to go out there for my Zen time on my own. And I also guide a little bit on the lakes. You can call me. I don't have it on auto book, but you can call me if you want to go fish the lakes. But I've been doing some lives on the lakes with Dave, and it's been great. I got a guide trip on tomorrow at the lake with a repeat client, so we're going to Otay. It should be pretty good.
Yeah, yesterday morning was pretty fun to listen and watch with the sound of the geese and all the different birds and that beautiful water in the morning. We had a lot of people were enjoying watching that. That was pretty fun.
Right. The Murray has a bunch of home guard honkers, and it's cool. There was 2 honkers yakking at me up there in the morning.
Yeah, everybody was loving that. That was just a great way for everyone to wake up in the morning, having their coffee, listening to those birds and watching you make some casts, and you even were able to catch a couple fish.
Yeah, I got a couple. I got a call yesterday when I was at my mom's from a good buddy of mine. Adam's been going out there, and he was out there yesterday afternoon. He said the shad spawn was going ballistic the hour and a half before dark. So they didn't go off in the morning. They went off in the afternoon. that shad spawn stuff and breaking largemouth bass is really similar to the bluefin type of foamers. One day they're going and one day they're not, or they're going in the morning and they're not, and they're not going in the afternoon. So if you're there on the right time, it's epic. They're boiling, pushing bait right up on the bank, and whatever you throw in there, they'll eat it, and it's perfect for footage. But
yeah, was that Captain Adam Cargill that was talking to you about that? Or?
Yeah.
Old buddy.
He's a big old bass fisherman. He's got his little Ranger, and he spends all his free time out there at the lakes.
He's a fishing fool, that's for sure. He loves it. He loves that fishing thing.
Yeah, a lot of the saltwater guys like to go bass fishing. I mean, the captains,
Yeah, I know Frank Lepresti does a trip every year down in Mexico fishing those Mexico lakes.
Yeah.
He's kind of into it. And if you go and you look through the lineage of the captains of the sport boats down in San Diego and Dana Point and Long Beach and LA, there's a lot of guys that just love largemouth bass fishing, even though they spend 250, 300 days a year fishing in the saltwater. Those other 60 days a year, they like to get out on that fresh water and throw those rubber lures around, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they love it.
Oh, yeah. So you got any trips coming up besides with the doctor tomorrow, which we're not going to go live with Al on the lake tomorrow because he's got a really, really good client. But tell everybody about the guy. He's a couple years older than us.
Yeah, he's 82 years old, and he stands right next to me on the deck most of the day. It's crazy. It's phenomenal. He's in really good shape. He's a long range guy, very OCD. He shows up on he shows up to my boat with a couple rods in his hand, and he has a little tackle box that's compact with a little bit of everything that we need, super dialed in. It's crazy. It's little hooks and there's line and everything. Even though my boat's fully loaded, it's funny because normally on a guide trip, I supply all the rods and stuff for the guys, but with certain people that have $800 bass setups, and all the new technique stuff. And he was laughing one day, and he goes, Al, a good fisherman can catch a fish with anything in their hand. Not that my gear's not good, but it's not 2025 edition.
Yeah, well, it's like the doc told you, the gear is cool, but it's all about who's holding that rod in their hand. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, man, you can catch fish with a quarter-pound spool line like they do in Baja with a weight on there.
Fishing off the piers down there, it's pretty spectacular.
But no, Dr. Chris Mimic is cool, and he's a legend on the long range situation too. So.
Well, you know what happened yesterday? I'm seeing John Stanley. It's such a beautiful day on the water. Yesterday morning, if you guys were watching Justin out there at Catalina, it was an absolute gorgeous day on the water. When he went to go home, though, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Captain Al, and he'll tell us more about it when he jumps on here. It was absolute victory at sea yesterday. He barely made it back to Long Beach coming from the east end of Catalina. He said it was crazy. The wind with that swell that was already out there with that wind chop swell. He said there was 20 knots of wind on it by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and they got their butts kicked coming home. They almost turned around and went back to Avalon. It was so gnarly.
Wow. Yeah, the palm trees here were howling yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, the weatherman missed that one. He said weatherman said 6 knots yesterday afternoon, and it was every bit of 15 if it wasn't more. It was pretty scary, Justin. I was talking to him this morning. He was able to put together a good day, though, with his member. Bob was his deckhand gang. If you looked on live yesterday, Bob was out there, and they had a great time. I'm just hoping that Justin can come on here and talk about it. Right. Hopefully he jumps in here with us in a minute. I don't see him over there. If he comes, that'll be great. Looks like Pablo's getting ready to drop down some baits out there. It looks like he's got the rock cod squirts on his line. I know there's a contest right now, right, in San Diego?
I think there's a bay bass tournament going on out of Mission Bay and San Diego Bay.
Yeah, he said that Brian came down and gave him some new rock cod squirts.
Oh, nice.
Brian loves that Pablo. He loves him. That's Brian from Promar, everybody. And he absolutely adores Pablo's. Hopefully someday he'll give me and you and Justin some stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be cool, right?
Oh yeah.
We're just the stepchildren waiting for our little bit of broth to come out of the pot. So what do you like? What's it looking like this week? I'm sorry, you have a trip tomorrow with the doctor. Then what do you have the rest?
I don't think I have anything else the rest of the week right now.
How's the tides looking? Should someone get out there and go fish the Back Bay with you, or should they go down to the Coronados? Yeah. What do you think?
Oh yeah, no, we got decent weather this weekend. Well, today it's supposed to be 80 degrees, or tomorrow it's supposed to be 80 degrees. But next week, it's decent as well. I haven't really checked, but the islands is the place to start pounding on because at the least you're going to load up on rock cod and you're going to be able to fish the Mexican limits, you know what I mean, versus 2 up here in California. So I do an 8-hour island trip and I do a 12-hour island trip. And right now, if you book right now, you get $200 off each one. So it's $2,000 for the 8-hour and it's $2,800 for the full day. And the full day, I go all the way down to below the rock pile and go to my lingcod spot, and the yellowtail are starting to show up down there as well. So you could load up on lingcod, all the rock cod, and possibly catch a few yellows.
Nice. I think you guys should get on that. $200 off right now. You can't beat that. I would check it out. I'm just trying to download a picture one of our members caught. And Dan and Kim, if you're watching, they caught one of your fish. Now, I got this phone call. I'm trying to get it up here right now, Al. I got this phone call yesterday from these guys, and they were like, can we keep it? Can we keep it, Dave? And I was like, yeah, that's very rare. I've seen 3 caught, and I'm trying to get it up on the screen right now. Jason was able to catch this guy. I think I'm getting closer to getting it up on the screen, gang. If you want to check something really spectacular out here, let's see if we almost there. Is it there? Yep, there it is. Downloading right now. Wait till you see this. And it's available. You can check it out over on our community already. It's already up there. Jason posted it yesterday morning. But it's a fish that I had to take to scripts to figure out what it was the first time I caught one. I caught one at the oil platforms off of Huntington Beach. And Jason caught it yesterday, and he didn't know They had it in the live well, and it's a big fish to put in the live well, Al, but they didn't know if they could keep it or not. I had totally understood because Dan and Kim had the same thing last year. Kim caught one on a rock cod squirt, and check this thing out. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, nice one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Down here in Mexico, we call them a slime grouper. They're called, the true actual name is a Gulf, Gulf, Comey, Comey, Gulf Coney. And they're kind of rare, but they're not. I mean, when I got down to searching around about it, there's quite a few caught, but I've only seen 3. This one, the one Dan and Kim caught, and the one I caught a few years ago. Pretty crazy looking fish. Beautiful white meat. But yeah, if you pulled that up, gang, on your boat, you would wonder too, are we allowed to keep this thing?
Right.
You ever seen one of those, Al?
I would imagine you can keep it, right?
Oh, yeah, you can keep it. Absolutely. But have you ever seen one?
No, I have now.
Look at that thing. The way that has those little white spots, a lot of people were like, oh, that's a black sea bass. I'm all, yeah, you may want to do a tiny bit of research. It's not a black sea bass, and it is what it is, Gulf Coney. And you can look it up, Google it, check it out. Make sure I'm not telling you a lie, because that is what it is. But you can understand how these guys were a little confused when that thing cleared the rail, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what, 10-pounder, 12-pounder?
Yeah, it's a nice one. It's a nice one.
That's cool. Hey, so the weather at the islands next week,
Yeah.
pretty much 5 to 11 knots all week.
Nice. That's pretty nice. It's nice traveling weather.
It's only 11 knots tomorrow afternoon. The rest of the days in the afternoon, 5 knots, 6 knots, 4 knots, 8 knots, 2 knots. Saturday, 7 knots.
We got to get Justin on here to talk about the weather, because like that weather's a liar. That weather.
Well, up there, they get more weather up there than we get down here. That's for sure. That wind funnels through those islands like a hurricane.
Yeah, but if you look, it shows it's going to be nice. It showed it was going to be nice yesterday, but not so much. Not so much. I'm trying to get a hold of Justin. I don't know why he's not coming with us. I see Pablo's moving. I was going to bring him on. It looked like they were fishing, but he's moving. He's trolling for rock cod. Justin. He hung up on me. Captain Al. I don't know.
He might be resting up.
Oh, he's fishing. He's fishing with the Zakara jig on the back of the boat, I think. All right. All right. Well, here's Captain Al's QR code. I think I got it here somewhere. If you want to get out there fishing with Captain Al Clowers, tell everybody that's driving around how they can call you and get out there.
You can call me direct at 619-800-3474.
Good morning.
Or you can go to my website, CaptainClowers.com, and photo book.
I would love to say hello to everybody. Volume down so it doesn't confuse me here.
All right, Daniel, real quick. What's up, buddy?
Oh, just hanging out at my office this morning. I just wanted to call in and say hello to everybody. I'm super honored to be a part of the show this morning, and for the time being on Saturdays, I believe.
Absolutely. Your real quick Saturday fish reports. Absolutely, buddy.
Super fun. We're going to have to get ReelQuick out on a boat for Saturdays, because I'd rather be talking to you guys from Pablo's boat or Justin's boat or Al's boat.
Yeah.
Than sitting in my office dicking around with my website right now.
Yeah, Captain Al would love to have you on the boat. And I know Justin and Pablo would too. They're all using your gear right now.
Yeah, super fun. Well, we're going to be on it. The fishing season is starting early, it looks like. Out my front door here, it's clear, it is sunny, and there's no wind between here and the channel. Santa Barbara Channel's nice and glassy. Everybody's probably getting out there and looking for that turned up water, right?
Yeah. Now, are you going to be at that Ventura show next month?
Yeah, let me tell you guys, we got 3 shows coming up. We did just add the day at the dock, so we're doing that next Sunday. Anybody wants to come down and check out the gear. We are scheduled for the Ventura show. You guys have a booth there. I'm going to be participating in your booth, and you guys will put some stuff in my booth, and we will try and get people on this machine, your saltwater guide machine.
Daniel, real quick before you skip over that Ventura show, everyone on here knows about the day at the dock. San Diego's been going on for a long time, but up there in your neck of the woods, this show that's going off on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th of May. Can you talk about that show? You were there last year with Mike Lewis and Robert.
I can talk about it a little bit. You know, I am not familiar with the last time they did a fishing show in Ventura. I believe it's been 20-something years before I moved here. Last year was the first year that they brought it back, and Adam did a great job. Mr. Ramos did a great job of bringing that show back. And this is going to be the 2nd year, and I'm super excited. I think it's going to be a fantastic show this year. It's a good time of year. It's right, springtime, right before the fishing really gets rocking in the Channel Islands. It's going to be bigger this year. They say they've already got more attendees coming, or more exhibitors coming, so that's super nice. And the beginning of the month, I guess it's the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Come and check us out there. We'll have plenty of gear to look at, plenty of gear for sales. We are rocking the combo units. Super fun. Can't wait to see you guys there.
Yeah, next week we're going to have the guys that are putting on the show on the podcast. They're going to be talking about the show, but whereabouts is it located so everybody that's listening will know?
Yeah, super easy. The Ventura Fairgrounds. Just go straight to Ventura Point or California Street where the point is. You can take a walk up the point, watch everybody surf before the doors open. Yeah, it's a great venue right on the beach. And, bring a fishing rod, you guys. Bring a fishing rod. There's stripers literally right up from the fairgrounds right now at the river mouth. High tide, bring a popper, come and catch a striper. They've been doing pretty good there lately. And, right at Ventura Fairgrounds, exit California Street. And right downtown, you could park in downtown Ventura and walk over to the venue. Come a couple hours early if you don't know Ventura. It's a beautiful town, beautiful walking street. They turned Main Street into a walking street. So that'd be nice for you guys to come and patronize the restaurants there and check out the town and then check out a great show. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I am too. And Robert Graper will be there at the booth. You'll be in the booth.
Yeah.
Mike Lewis just got invited to go on a War Heroes, Real Warriors fly fishing trip. So he may be in the booth or he may be going on the trip. We haven't made that final decision yet, but it'll be a great show. And we're going to jump over right now and look at what Justin's doing on the back of his boat, buddy. And I'm going to show everybody your product here in just a second. So stay tuned. Thanks for calling in, Daniel.
I'm working on the web. I'm going to jump off because I'm waiting for a customer. I'm doing some invoicing right now. So you guys have a wonderful morning. I will be watching the show. And, hey, my phone's here. Call me if you need to.
You got it, buddy. Thank you.
Hello.
All right. Let's see what Justin's doing here. We'll still be able to hear you, Al. Let's get Justin on the screen here. You hear me, Al?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me, Justin? Justin over there. He's live.
Justin's muted, I think.
He's live on his boat. He's not muted on my side.
Oh, okay.
We can't hear you, Justin. We can't hear you. We cannot hear you.
Oh, I had my mute button on.
Now we can hear you. What are you doing?
Boat work.
Yeah, it looks like you're doing boat work.
You have to work a little bit, fish a little bit, work a little bit, fish a little bit.
Yeah, otherwise you're going insane and your body hurt.
What
No wonder why I
happened?
didn't catch anything. There's a freaking sea lion right here. Gosh dang it.
There's not
Those
too
are my
many of those
favorite
things.
animals. They're
That's
so
kind of
cute.
rare, isn't it? Having a sea lion at your boat.
Man.
Those guys are so cute. What does Pablo got going on here? What are you doing, Pablo? You got a hookup?
I'm using Okuma 5NS Captain Dave Hansen Special on my Daniel Rubin ReelQuick setup. And we got something. We don't know what it is. We're just kind of getting a lay of the land. But the pole is bent, and we think there's a fish on there. She's got it going on right there in the corner. Can you guys see okay?
Yep.
All right, keep reeling it. Keep reeling it. Okay, keep reeling it. Keep reeling it. Bring it in here. Swing it. Remember what I told you guys? Put this down. Let me have it. Let me have it. Lick it. Let me lick it. Very nice. Come on, buddy. You're gonna die anyway. It's nice. Hold that weight. Only the weight. There you go. Did we lose you guys?
Oh, that was
Hello.
pretty exciting, huh? That was pretty exciting. Justin, we're all watching Justin's feet here to see if he gets a hookup, gang. This is live. No editing. We're catching fish live out on the water. There you are, Pablo. Beautiful rockfish.
We got that on the Okuma 5NS on Daniel Rubin's ReelQuick setup.
Everything's working.
With the
What'd he
rock
get?
squirt. That was the first drop.
Got a vermilion.
Nice.
Nice one. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Where's he at? I don't see him anywhere.
All right, reel that one up, Dino. We're going to reposition. I'm going to reposition back on the spot. Okay, guys.
Is it just?
See him?
You don't see
No, I
him?
don't see him anywhere. It's
Huh.
black. Is it just me?
Yeah, it's you. We all see him.
I'm gonna.
Bye. There you go, Captain Al. You can see him up there in the top, right?
Oh yeah, he's got it perfect in the corner.
Let's just go over this part here.
Yeah, the end part.
Pablo.
I know I told you like an hour ago, so it's kind of hard. So this is what we want to do here. When the fish is here and everybody's excited, just
What's crazy what's going on. It's everybody for themselves. There he is. There's Justin, the man, the myth, the legend. Justin, what's up?
Not much.
Did you get a hookup a minute ago on that thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
What happened?
Nothing. Did you see it?
No.
We saw the rod bent over, but
No,
we
it
didn't
looked like
see
it
a
jumped
fish.
off.
No, it was a yellowfin croaker, little one.
Nice.
Oh,
I thought I
did
showed
the
you on the
long
camera.
distance? You did the long distance release?
No, it was right here at I let it go in my hand.
Oh, okay. We didn't. Me and Al were waiting. We were so excited.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the juicy part, dude. Just about.
Oh, I thought you were able to see it.
Yeah, we missed it.
Let me turn my phone sideways. Let's see. Oh snap!
There you go. Now you got full screen.
Let's see what happens.
It looks good from Cabo.
Well, I gotta adjust something so you don't see my feet.
No, but they look good. Marley, look at him. What is he doing? You're okay, monkey. You're okay.
Monkey see, monkey do. Monkey pee all over you.
Oh, every single day. Every single day. What do you guys think? Are you enjoying this show this morning? Share it with your friends. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us, follow us, follow us.
Yeah, the people that aren't members, get over there and sign up. It's the only game in town.
Absolutely. You
can
want to be a part of this thing for sure.
If you were a member, you'd know exactly where Andrew's at, catching halibut.
That's right. Check out this new commercial I made, Al. Watch this. Your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen. I'm just letting you guys know we have a 7-day free trial right now. It's pretty exciting. You're going to get to look at the best fishing website ever made for fishermen by a fisherman. This website has the best fishing community ever created with zero negativity. If you're tired of all the negativity out there in the world, you must check out Your Saltwater Guide. The community is full of like-minded people just like yourself that just want to go out, have fun on the water, and share their experience with everybody else. No negativity. Did I say that? No negativity. Then, the other things that come with the subscription, you got a game plan that comes out every Thursday for whatever area you're fishing in. We'll make sure that you don't suck when you go. The other thing, 3,300 spots. And I teach you how to fish each and every spot. Because if you just want GPS numbers, they're worthless if you don't know what to do when you get there. Another thing, 500 plus how-to videos. How to fish for whatever fish you like to catch. White sea bass, yellowtail, calico bass, barracuda, bonita, bluefin tuna, yellowfin tuna, dorado. We got it all. We cover everything. Halibut. You want to check out this website, gang? Absolutely free. Give me a call at 949-374-0786. I promise you, I'm the only person out there that owns a website that's willing to let you have my personal phone number. That's got to make you go, what the heck? I got to check this out. YourSaltwaterGuide.com. Absolutely free. Just pick up the phone and call me. There's no obligation. It's free. What do you think of that, Al?
Nice video, Dave.
That's my
Great
backyard.
job.
That's where I live.
Right. And it's the truth.
It's pretty amazing, right, buddy?
Oh, yeah.
Looks like Pablo's tangling up back there. He needs to let out a little bit of line or get a ladder to get up to the tip of that rod. Yeah.
Please. I got to move around.
Well, Justin, come on, man. Let's catch a whopper at the dock on the Akara jig. Here, check out this. If you guys were talking about the ReelQuick fishing system, Daniel's a sponsor of the Saturday shows. If you don't know what the heck that is, you don't know what that system is, I want you to see this. Okay, Captain Al showed you a little bit about it.
All right,
check this out.
Your saltwater guy, Captain Dave Hansen. We're down here at the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show, and I'm with Daniel Rubin, the creator of the ReelQuick Reel Seat System. This is an amazing, amazing product.
You guys check this out. ReelQuick Fishing is a dovetail connection. It is in the unlocked position for simplicity here. Comes right off the rod with a dovetail connection. No more screws, no more clamps on the back. Goes on the rod just like that, and we can lock this in place. Turn of a pin. This is strong. This is not coming off of this rod. ReelQuickFishing.com. Dave, you want to add anything to this?
The really cool part about this is the simplicity of it. I fish hard all the time. I hold my rod the proper way. I know a lot of you don't. A lot of you have your hand back here. You always want to have your hand in front of the reel. That's the way that the whole design was made to do, is do it the right way. Normally, when you grab it the right way, you're dealing with the ferrule screws right here. And when you're grabbing it and undoing it, the screws keep coming undone. There's none of that happening anymore. It's a very easy system to use the right way. I was blown away when I saw this. I thought it would add a lot of weight to the rod. Actually, it takes away a lot of the weight.
Gang, I want to let you know that that system is incredible. You guys got to check it out. Captain Al's got it right there, and as we showed you in the beginning of the show, that system is absolutely incredible. You get it put on your custom rod, you'll be blown away at how easy that whole system works, and without any ferrule screws, it's incredible. I'll throw the QR code up there. Daniel's got the website up. It's not selling product yet. We were just a few days away from selling the product, but it's up there. You can go check out what's going on over on the website, see all the stuff that he's got going on over there. I'll throw the QR code up a little bit later in the show. There it is right there. Bam. Go check that out. And gang, we're coming up on that that California Fishing Game Commission meeting on the 16th and 17th, which is going to be super important to be involved in because, like Captain Al says, why do we want to go all the way to Mexico to catch a rockfish? You saw Pablo drop their line down right away, catch a rockfish. You don't need to go to Mexico to catch those things. It's silly. They keep closing everything. And like Andrew was talking before on the show, he went grunion hunting. You're only allowed 3 right now. 30 grunion. That's crazy. There's billions of them, right, Justin?
Yes, there is. I haven't been grunion hunting in a long time, but everything I see, there's a million of them.
Yeah, we got plenty of videos over on the website. You can check them out on the community. And Justin, talk about the community for a few minutes. How wonderful is it to wake up in the morning and see all those happy people that followed your game plan and went out and caught fish?
Yeah, it's really, 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 really cool. And it's not just a community, it's a family. It's bringing a bunch of fishermen into a family where we all help out each other. It's pretty cool. People help me out. I help people out. It's really, really cool. There's nowhere else you're going to find a website like that ever.
Did you see John Emerson's post last night? He bought his boat. He got a boat.
Yeah, I was going to say congratulations to John. I didn't know if he wanted me to tell anyone, but congratulations, John. Good job. He got that boat that he wanted. It was pretty cool.
Well, once he posted it, we're all over it.
I didn't know he posted it. That's cool.
Yeah, it's on the community now. He sent a picture of it.
But we're drifting off of it. If you look on the bottom right now, there's no fish. There's very little fish on that one. Mm-hmm. So
I'm going to, right now is the beginning of rockfish season, as everyone knows. And just like Dave was talking about earlier, there was a fish that was caught that I didn't even know what the heck it was. I got sent the message, but I was on the way back from Catalina and like the deadliest catch style stuff. That was pretty scary. But when you catch these rockfish, if you don't know what they are, what if you start keeping something that you're not supposed to? You really got to think about that, because Fish and Game, if they pull you over and you say, "Oh, I didn't know," isn't going to get you out of a ticket. So you don't have to know anything, but you should know what you're catching, right? While you're out there. What better way than using this right here? This thing is absolutely amazing, and it's very, very detailed. This is sold by Captain Al Clowers. This thing is absolutely amazing. I guarantee you will not find a rockfish guide like this anywhere. And Al Clowers sells these. I think they're like $20 a piece.
Right. Yeah, and it's a California rockfish.
It has all of them on there. So if you're confused, like, oh, what did I catch? Can I keep this? What do I do? I had to do this yesterday because I don't know all the fish.
Right.
So I had to grab this and figure out what the heck we caught. And yeah, it was pretty freaking cool because I had this thing right here, very, very, very detailed. It's not just a picture of a fish. Let me give you an example. So this is the old one that I was using right here. All these is drawn pictures of fish. That's all they are. I don't know if y'all could see it, but this one right here is actual real pictures of the fish, not drawn. So you know exactly what they look like. It's pretty freaking amazing. So I highly, highly recommend it. I know that you guys didn't know I was going to talk about this, but I highly recommend getting
We
this.
like it.
If Al has any more, I would highly recommend you buying this.
No, I have them. I have them in stock, along
think-
with all the maps and everything.
I think every boat out there needs one of these on your boat. Even the sport boats, everyone needs one of these, because when in doubt, whip it out, right? Here it is.
Yeah, got me a rock and roll band. It's a free for all. Hey, Mikey, welcome to the show.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
We're excited to have you here, buddy. Justin.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm
Mikey
a little bit late.
right
I'm
there.
burnt out from yesterday.
Hi.
I was grinding it out yesterday, deep water rockfish out at the upper 9.
Yeah, on your little boat?
Yeah, on my little boat, and then of course I was on the way in. It was pretty slow, but I managed a nice big chunky vermilion red one was the first one that I got. Then I got a couple big green blotch, and then a Mexican. And then on the way in, I had to stop in La Jolla and chase the yellows at sunset. It was too nice. And then next thing I know, it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I'm getting back to the landing. I brought my lights, so I was able to throw my lights on and come in the dark through Mission Bay, but I'm burnt out today.
Justin, talk about that weather yesterday and how Mikey, what do they have, a wall down in San Diego? Because Justin almost died coming home.
Really?
Mike, listen to Justin.
So when we first got to the backside of Catalina on the east end, we anchored, and it was like 4-foot swells at maybe 5 to 6 seconds. And the wind just started picking up. It wasn't that bad. It was like 7-8 mile an hour winds. And it was just really hard to anchor because we had uphill current in every spot I went to. And then we had a northwest swell. So it was kind of tough. So we moved there and we went rockfish fishing. And it's weird because the further I went out into the rockfish area on the front side, it calmed down a little bit. So right around 1 o'clock, we were on the front side fishing for sheephead. And the wind started howling, probably about 12 to 14. White caps, 3-foot swells on the front side, opening an Avalon. Then things started going for the worst. It got a complete poop show out there. I looked at my client. I said, hey, we probably may want to head back now, because as we look out towards Long Beach, all we see is waves, not swells, waves breaking as far as you can see. Just, I was like, holy crap, this is going to be fun. So we started heading back around 2:30-ish, 2:45, and it was a complete poop show. It was really bad. It was like, I want to say 12-foot swells, but it wasn't. It was like 6 to 8-foot swells at about 5 seconds, about 20 mile an hour winds, and it was pretty crazy. I have a pretty dang big boat, and I had waves breaking over the bow, over the top of the roof. So
Wow.
we got about halfway back, and my client Paul came upstairs. Normally he comes down here and sleep. He went upstairs and says, hey, you think this is safe? And I was all, no, it's not. He's all, should we just head back to Catalina and stay the night? And I'm all, well, we're halfway. So I either go halfway back and get beat up, or halfway home and get beat up. So I told him, give us a few more minutes. Let's see what we can do. And if worst case scenario, I'll head north, and then we'll head in that way. So it was pretty bad. Really, it was the worst I've seen in a couple of years.
Wow.
And the reason I wanted Justin to tell that story, Mikey, is because everybody knows you. San Diego Fish and Sips. Mikey's with us today. He's going to try to join us most Saturday mornings, because Saturdays are the day he's editing his videos now and putting them out. So we're going to get blessed having him be on here. So now we got Captain Al Clowers, we got Pablo, we got Justin, we got Mikey. We got you guys covered for whatever you're trying to accomplish out there, for whatever level. But the really strange thing is Mikey was out there by the 9, guys, in San Diego. And Justin was at Catalina. And if you look at a topographical map, there's no wall or there's no blockage to stop that weather. Isn't that wild, Mikey?
Yeah. It was, I mean, it kicked up a little bit midday too, but the normal stuff, you know, it was super flat and glassy when I went out there in the morning time, but there was no current. There was hardly any current out there through the middle part of the day. And then I stuck it out there, and the wind kicked up a little bit, and then it glassed off again. in the evening time. But yeah, that's crazy to hear that with Captain Justin.
Yeah, thank God you didn't have that on your boat, boy. We'd be talking about the Coast Guard getting you today.
Yeah.
So what's it been like in La Jolla now that the word's out there's some yellowtail? Is it crazy there, the amount of boats?
So I fished. The week started off for me Monday. I was out there. I went. I had an afternoon trip on the Wanu on the 6-pack, and then in the morning time I went with my buddy Nam on Freedom Boat Club, and we went out to La Jolla. We were searching for the yellows out there in La Jolla in the morning time, and it was so cloudy and just snotty out, real cold and foggy. Couldn't see much. That was Monday morning. And then Monday afternoon I went out there. And we've been killing it on the whitefish, but the whitefish weren't biting that day. It was pretty slow for white fishing in the afternoon trip. And then Tuesday, I was editing videos Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I got out there. No, then Friday was the next day that I got out there. And yeah, I've been hearing about the yellows out there, and it's just putting in the time and getting lucky. And yeah, there I have seen an increased amount of boat traffic out there as well. But that's why I liked it. Yesterday in the afternoon, evening, there was minimal. I only saw another couple boats out there.
Well, I want to talk to you something. There's a viral video going off right now about this guy over in Florida, this guide. And Captain Al and I were talking about this a little bit right before we went live on the show. And Mikey, you spend a lot of time up there in Mission Bay, out in front of the Mission Bay and out there in La Jolla. And there's a handful of captains that believe in their heart they own La Jolla, that they think they own it. They tell me, they tell Al, they tell our members, they own La Jolla, and they are brutal, and they will fight you to the death for that spot there, which is pretty crazy. What do you ever see anything like that when you're there?
Yeah, I mean, I've from back in the day when I was kayak fishing, there's always stories like I hear. So I've only heard the stories. And back in the day, kayak fishing, the story was always about angry skiff guy, Greg Trompas, and throwing irons at my friends told me that they got irons thrown at by him on the kayak and stuff like that. And I've hooked a couple fish right next to him, and next to other people that I could tell that they were pissed off. And when the squid bite's going on, that's a whole nother story too. But from my personal experience, I haven't had bad experiences out there. And I'm gonna go out there and just fish it hard, and the fish move through. They're not always on one spot. They move through different areas. It's all about being at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. I didn't mean to mention Mr. Trompas' name. And remember, Greg, it didn't come out of my mouth. So
no, I got yeah. All right. I keep this.
You got to be careful.
No, those guys are legends of the spot, and I'm just gonna fish the spot and spend time there. And I got respect for everybody else.
No, I understand what you're saying.
With respect, and I got mad respect for Greg Trompas. That guy's a legend. So
no, that's not what I'm trying to say, Mikey. What I'm trying to say is, gang, there's guys that are out there that believe in their heart. Forget about the names of the people, but they believe in their heart they own the ocean. And we don't need that in our world. There's so much cool stuff. And Pablo and Justin and Mikey and Al and myself, we've spent a zillion days out on the water, and we don't feel that we own anything. But on my game plans and on my stuff before Justin and Pablo and Al and you got involved, I used to tell everybody, as far as a personal boater, stay out of La Jolla. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it, because it's at the end of the day, it's a fish. And if you get so pissed off and so angry about a fish, you probably should try to change professions and go do something else for a living. This is supposed to be a relaxing day out on the water. You watch Mikey's videos. They're fun. They're having fun. You watch Justin. He's out there with our members and they're having fun. You watch Al, like yesterday morning. That's what fishing's all about, is going out there and having fun. And I just want to make sure that you guys understand, if you get to the point where some guy's coming up threatening and being angry like it, just drive away. It's not even worth it. It's not worth it. And I mean, the stories are real. They're absolutely real. So just be careful. So let's leave that. Let's go over to this, Mikey. Do you know Captain Al Clowers?
I know, I don't know him on a personal level, but yeah, I know Captain Al Clowers, and I got
What's
a lot of
up,
respect
Mike?
for Al. He's been doing it for a long time.
Absolutely. And I think you and Al would have a ball in that back bay. Have you gone back there and done that bonefish?
I haven't done. I was just saw the short when Al was filleting up the bonefish, and I have gone out of the back bay, mostly chasing halibut. I was trying to make live smelt and then catch a big halibut. So I haven't done the bonefish.
And then have you met my buddy Justin?
I had same thing with Al. You know, I know of Justin, but not on the personal level, and I haven't gotten to fish with him.
Well, these are my guys. If you want to go learn about Catalina or Long Beach Harbor or San Diego or the Coronados, it's going to be hard to find somebody better than Justin or Captain Al. Those guys are legends fishing there, and they're not real big into people trying to bully them around. I'll promise you that. They don't like that too much. But as far as part of the group, I would love for you to be more involved with us with the kayak thing and the private boat thing, because Justin does so much for the fishing community as far as sharing what he's doing out on the water, because that's what this is all about. And then for me to get Captain Al to come over and be a part of Justin and I was a big deal. And we got him to come over, and now it's kind of cool. And he's part of the community and he's helping everybody. And I would love for you to get more involved with our community and help our private boater guys and help the kayak guys and understand what's going on out on the water, because what you're doing is different than what Justin's doing. And what Justin's doing is different from what you're doing. And Captain Al, he's got a couple of really bitchin' boats that he fishes the back bay and the Coronados. And I think the whole thing's going to work way better if we're all helping the community. What do you think, Mikey?
I agree. That's what I like, sharing and helping others, and just I see the more people catching fish and get out in there, the better. And I like to share the information. That's what I've done through my videos, and I'm very blessed and grateful that you've allowed me to use your community and your channel to expand that outward to more people.
Well, the thing about our community is they've told me for so long, you got to get Mikey on. You got to get Mikey over here and have him start sharing what he's learned. Launching, because Justin, Pablo, Al, and I, we aren't launching our boats through the surf down there. I mean, you're not going to see Justin's sitting on his boat right now. He's not launching that thing.
Imagine if I launched my boat in the surf.
What? No, it was, yeah, for 5 years I was out there on the kayak, grinding it out hard all day. And that was my favorite thing ever is catching La Jolla. Go out there with the sabiki and make some mackerel and fly line, slow troll that mackerel. I've gotten them in January, February, March, every month out of the year, a slow troll, yellowtail on the greenback mackerel out there in La Jolla on the kayak. And that's my roots. And then it's expanded. Now that I've been having the solo skiff, that gets me out on the water fishing, and then I meet with people and then fish all the other ways. And everyone's been able to see as I'm learning all of this stuff, because I'm constantly learning. And as I'm learning everything, I'm just documenting it and sharing my story. And it's helped others a lot along the way. And it's a really enjoyable process. And I like the feedback that I'm getting from a lot of people too.
And then,
hey, Mikey, on your skiff,
yeah,
are you running an EPIRB or ACR on there?
No, I don't have a EPIRB yet. I got my VHF radio and my phone, and then now that I know more people, I got buddy boats on the water a lot of the time. But I was looking at that Garmin InReach, that little mini for versus a EPIRB. Is that what an ACR you were referring to as? Yeah.
Yeah. So the ACR is small, compact. It's smaller than a phone.
I've seen that the Garmin InReach, the little orange one. Is there other brands making them?
Oh, well, before Garmin, there was one called an ACR. That's one of the main ones that we use out here. Besides the EPIRBs are the big ones. Obviously, that's not going to be compatible for you. But the Garmin InReach, I don't know much about it. I know it's kind of a new technology thing, but If it was me, I would recommend checking into the ACR.
Gotcha. And that's
the ACRs are a lot cheaper than a EPIRB, I believe.
Yeah, they're like
they're like in the
check that out.
$250 range, I believe.
They're like 300 and something bucks for a small ACR. So.
Right on. Thank you for that, Justin. Now I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, I was just thinking because yesterday caught me completely off guard. And if I was in my dinghy or something out there, that would have been horrible.
What was the
huh?
I was just go ahead. That was the question I was just gonna ask, is what the forecast was calling, and was there a conflicting forecast, and what do you like to use for your forecasting?
So at the moment of us heading back, it said 6 mile per hour winds and 3 foot at 11 seconds.
That's what the live reading showed as far as what the forecast was saying at the live moment.
Yeah.
And then what did it say the day before when you were supposed to? The same thing?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty bad though. It was really, really bad. Literally waves were breaking over the bow of my boat. And I have a 45-foot yacht and it was breaking over the bow. It's pretty crazy.
Usually springtime, some of the most unstable conditions, right? As far as forecast being off and changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just noticed windy has been off big time ever since. I don't know.
Do you use wind finder also, or just windy?
Just windy.
I like to use both the wind finder too, and then can kind of compare them.
Right. I use buoy weather, windy.
Buoy weather, yeah.
And predict my new one is predict current. It'll tell you the wind, wave, swell, and the current. Predict current. It's really
Predict current. That's a good one.
Check it out.
Especially for the bays fishing, that current's key.
Yeah, and the uphill and downhill and all that stuff out there in the kelp beds, it tells you everything. You can just pinpoint your spot and it tells you everything. And they gather information about 15 different ways.
Is that a subscription like buoy weather?
What's that?
Is that a subscription base? I know buoy weather is subscription.
You can do free, but if you want the current, you got it's an add-on. It's a paid thing. It's the same as buoy weather, pretty much. I think it's $100 a year.
How accurate would that be for current at Catalina?
When I was talking to the guys, they said it's really accurate. They gather information from I think around 15 different stations. When I look at them, they're all foreign to me. But go on there and check it out.
All right.
And then I have the guy's number. He hooked me up with a annual subscription for all the hot rod stuff for free. So I guess I could say I'm sponsored by him.
Good for you.
But
so I want to talk about a question real quick. Hold on, Al. Listen, there's a bunch of people talking about how the sailboaters always just kind of try to T-bone you when they're out there. And it happens to every one of us. Me, I drove 90-foot yachts and 40-foot sport boats and 80-foot sport boats. And I'll tell you what, they come right to the corner or right to the bow all day, every day. Al, you see it all the time on your Riviera. Justin sees it all the time on his boat. There's a thing about, and I don't know, Mikey, if you they try to run you over. The sailboaters believe in their heart, which is totally wrong, but they've been told since they were little kids that they have the right of way no matter what. Well, we all know you don't have the right of way when we're anchored to the bottom, but we are a target. And this is what I've always said. I've said it when I'm on stage. I've said it on these podcasts. Sailing is so boring. It is probably almost as boring as watching paint dry. So you got to remember, they are bored out of their living minds, and all they have is to aim for Mikey, or all they have is to aim for Justin. So you got to remember that.
Have you ever seen a sailboater smile? Have you ever seen a sailboater smile while they're sailing?
Oh my God. So that's why I always say they're bored out of their minds, Al. That's why they aim for you, Justin, Mike, and Matt, Ryan, and everybody that's leaving a comment on here about sailboaters. That's why they're bored out of their minds.
I can guarantee you one thing: on Saturday and Sunday, and in the summer, every day, you come into San Diego Bay, all beat up from a 12-hour trip. The sailboats are everywhere. I have to zigzag to get to my slip. It's ridiculous. And then the little sailboats are sailing their way out of the little 5-mile-an-hour zone where they can go 150 yards and they got to turn. It's just a nightmare. I'm not a fan of sailboats. Trust me.
I just keep my pace at 20 with a 4-foot wake and then maneuver around them. It's pretty cool.
Right.
Oh my goodness. And then another Jason Cutter, congratulations. He just went up to Dana Point and got his prizes for winning the halibut derby up there. Congratulations. He won it for the month of March. And Jason's asking you a question, Mikey. How do you determine when you get down in the morning to go fishing if you're going to take your little tiny boat out there, and what conditions do you look for to figure out if you're going?
I look for condition on the forecast. I use Windy and Wind Finder for my forecasting, and I'm looking for winds throughout the day, 10 miles an hour or less. And then swell wise, I'm looking for swell 3 feet or less and over 13 seconds usually for surf launching in there. And then it all determines when I get down there, also down to the water that day, because like Justin experienced, is that things can change. So then if I don't feel, then the determination is out on the water. And then when I'm out there and get out there, then, if I got to cut the day early, then I'll cut it early. But that's what I'm looking for is swell and wind wise.
And then how often since you did this for 5 years, how often have you had to go paddle to the harbor or take your little boat to the harbor because you can't get back on the beach?
Because I can't land back through the beach?
Yeah.
I've never gone back to the harbor instead of going back to the beach. I've always gone back on the beach. I did flip in November down in Baja in Asuncion. I flipped the skiff coming in through the surf. And then I had flipped my kayak two times before that in the surf coming in. I always have flipped in the surf coming back in versus going out.
So when you flip
you ever see any sharks out there?
Yeah, I've seen all the threshers and makos and blue sharks. I still haven't seen the white shark, and I know what they've seen me. And when I do see one, I'm out of there. It's not worth it fishing for me.
Yeah, nice.
When you flip that thing, they call that a yard sale, right?
Yeah, well, luckily I was there in the surf in Baja, and I only ended up losing one tackle box, and everything else I got back. And then the people down there are so amazing. He helped me open up my Avid reel, clean it with gasoline, put new bearings in it. Mauricio, the guy that I met down there and was staying at his house, tuned up my Avid so I can still fish with that. And then I dried out my motor, cleaned the carburetor, put an additional fuel filter in it. He made it even better than it was before and got it back up and running. So yeah, the yard, luckily I was able to get most of my stuff back after the yard sale.
Hey, that community down there in Assumption is top notch. It's really cool down there. I've been down there a bunch.
That is a very, very special place and special people there. And I'm so blessed to make the connections that I did. And I'm looking forward to what the future has in store down there too, because that's a special place.
Yeah, I got a couple buddies that bought property down there too. But we normally fish with Miguel, the Mantarea guy.
What time of the year do you like to go down there?
We normally go down there around Thanksgiving.
Yep. November, is really good time. That's when I went down last year.
I went down there last time and I got really sick. And my wife's Mexican and she started making calls and we talked to Miguel, and my wife knows every doctor and nurse in that whole town now because I was really, dude, I had an IV hanging on a fishing rod for 4 days down there. That was sick, boy. But they came right to my room, the doctors and stuff. Pretty wild.
Yeah,
There's
that's
some
next
good-
level.
there's some
Me,
good
me
fishing
Casa,
down there.
Sue Casa. That's what I've experienced down there with
Yeah.
them.
Oh, yeah.
So as far as your channel goes on YouTube, Mikey, are we planning on some new videos we haven't seen yet? Are you going fishing this week? Are you going to make us some
Yeah.
videos?
Well, I'm going hard with. I got my mission accomplished. 2 shorts on the Instagram and Facebook every day this week, Monday through Friday. I'm getting my shorts
Nice.
pumped out. I'm going to continue that this week. I had one premiere this last week with the full-length video, and then I'm going to have a premiere this upcoming week. Probably 2 videos, Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday will be the rock fishing video. I'm going to do a catch and cook with that. I might do I don't know if I'm going to do panko or tempura. We'll see how I want to cook it up. And then Thursday, I'm going Tuesday to Freedom Boat Club. Again, we're going to go down to the Coronado Islands. So Thursday's video, I'm going to hopefully make the edit from Tuesday's Coronado adventures.
All right. Well, I'd love to get you up there with Justin or get you out there with Captain Al or Captain Pablo and make us some videos for us to show somewhere. That would be rad. I think you teamed up with Justin or Al would be pretty spectacular. I think the people will come out of the woodwork to fish with you and put together some trips with fish with Mikey on Justin's boat or fish with Mikey on Al's boat. Gang, what do you guys think of that? Everybody that's watching, you think you guys would jump into something like that? We're just kind of checking things. What are you looking at, Justin? That sea lion?
No, there's a boat coming in, and I was going to start filming it. And then I was going to see how big of a booger eater I would look if I started filming it, trying to dock, but it's running into shit.
Oh, you needed to fit that.
I have all my neighbors staring over there right now, and they're going to be looking at me too, like I'm the booger eater that's freaking filming this.
Oh, bummer. That would have been fun. That would have been good content. We
Are you fishing the bay this week, Al?
I don't have any trips this week, but the tide looks good on Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah, that's the day I'm already set for fish. Monday, I'm working a trip, morning trip. Tuesday, and then my buddy was hitting me up. He wants me to go down to. Have you been to Gonzaga Bay area, Al?
Yeah, I have. Roy Rose bought one of my buddy's houses right there on Punta Fanal, right there in Gonzaga.
Yeah, so I got my buddy's got a house down there. He's a little bit north by La Palma, north of Punta Bufeo. And he's like, hey, come down, I'm going for the week. So, and then I know my guy got Captain Juan Cook down there catch a yellowtail. So
right,
I'm tempted to make the run down there, but I think I'm going to stick it out in San Diego.
Right. Juan Cook's top-notch guy. He's cool. That guy.
I know that guy.
Yeah, he trainers his boat all over Baja.
Juan Cook's a legend of Baja. Yeah, he put me on my first wahoo, and we've gone out fishing at the Golden Reef out there. A lot of yellow. He's the one that got me into, instead of just yo-yo iron fishing, and getting more into the vertical jigs. Right. That's what I'm trying to fish more now.
Yeah, don't show up to Ascension without about 20 of them, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got a chrome, the yellowfin tuna on the chrome yo-yo iron this last trip down there in Ascension.
Nice. That's cool.
Justin, what's going on over there? Did they crash?
Oh yeah, like 10 times. But they're in the slip down. Everyone started clapping. It's really funny.
Oh, bummer.
I feel bad for them too, because they have like a $300,000 boat.
Sounds like they need you to go teach them how to park that thing.
What harbor are you in, Justin?
Long Beach.
In Long Beach.
Rainbow.
You know, Justin's in Rainbow Harbor for sure.
Silly. Stop it, you guys.
Yeah. Right there in beautiful Long Beach Harbor at Rainbow Harbor. Absolutely. Where all the good stuff happens. The other day, Justin came out to his truck to go home from working, and there was a gal sleeping in the back of his truck.
Freaking crazy.
Scared the hell out of Justin.
I bet.
She wanted a date and a shower.
She wanted
Yeah.
to go home and meet Amanda.
She looked up at me and goes, they're chasing me. They're chasing me. I'm like, who the hell's chasing you? There's no one out here. I'm hiding back here. I'm like, no, you're not. You're sleeping in my truck. And then a few choice words, you know? And she got out, and then she left a big old huge joint in the back of my truck. And I didn't want to touch it, so I took my tie straps, and I was like hitting it to get off my truck. I'm like, get out. So, yeah.
Nice.
Hey, yeah, Mikey. Hey, send me a text at 619-800-FISH, and we can work something out.
619-800-FISH. That's your phone number?
Yes, sir.
That's a great phone number.
Isn't that awesome?
That's one of the best phone numbers I've ever heard. I will do, and we can figure out a time because I want to check out the back bay with you.
Okay. We can do that.
It's looking like really nice, stable weather this whole next week and in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, tomorrow the highest winds are 11 knots, and then it goes. The highest winds are like 6 all week.
That's what I was seeing too. It's looking real nice. But then I saw I'm going Freedom or Coronado Islands on Tuesday, and I saw San Diego wasn't able to get any yellows out there yesterday. But that can shift just like La Jolla. Every day is different.
Yeah, that wind puts a hurting on that place, but they're there. They're just not biting too good, you know.
Yeah,
that's gonna change real quick.
Justin, yesterday morning I was looking at water temp in front of your harbor. They said it was 51 degrees. Did you see that? Was it warm or did you notice?
Yeah, so the coldest I seen it was 49.8 yesterday.
Woo!
And,
40, geez.
And right outside in my harbor right now, well, I can go upstairs and see what the temperature is right this second, but right outside of my harbor when I was leaving yesterday, it was 51.2. And then I think I took pictures of it. I could probably send it to you. And then as I was driving out, right before the drop off of mid-channel, it was like 51.8 or 51.9. And Catalina Island was 52.6. So yeah, it was nice and warm out there.
And here's something that all of you that are watching the show, you need to understand. We have not seen the water this cold in Southern California since 2013. And I know a lot of you don't keep records of what's going on, and a lot of you just got into fishing since that time. You haven't been in it that long. This is the coldest water we've seen in Southern California in over 13 years or 12 years. So we're in for something totally different this year than what you've seen, gang. Captain Al, Justin, myself, we've seen these cycles. We know what's going on. We understand. We see the anchovy deal going on. We see the water temperature. What we've had the last few years, which people don't understand, is we've had warm water all the way to the bottom and 100 feet of water. This year, we got cold water all the way to the bottom. So the ocean's, when the wind blows now, it turns itself over on top of itself, and that's why the water gets so cold. Where the years past, you guys would go out there after a big wind like we just had, and the water would be warm. And everyone would go, wow, this is totally different than what we've ever seen before. That's why that water got real green. And that's what causes that whole cycle thing to change. But what it does, it's really good for us because it brings a ton of new nutrients back into the water, which the anchovies are feeding on that. When the anchovies are feeding on that, everything all starts to work together. Your bass fishing is going to be incredible. You're going to see maybe barracuda, bonita, and sand bass in Southern California for the first time in a very long time. And no matter what these experts want to tell you guys, the ocean is on a cycle, and we are back into cold water cycles. So all this information Justin's new girlfriend got, and she's sharing around, and you saw her on Justin's page there on Facebook. He was sharing his new girlfriend's name and stuff. I can't say the name. I don't want to get sued, but she's telling everyone that they're all gone. she is not even old enough to have ever lived through a cycle, let alone to have information about a cycle. So we're going to see fishing that we haven't seen in a very long time, that Captain Al, Captain Justin, and I grew up doing. We're going to get to see the 3Bs in a level that we haven't seen. Justin the other day at Catalina, Mikey, had really good barracuda fishing, and the water was like 55. He hit a spot there on the backside. He marked a bunch of fish. He threw some anchovies. He had barracuda cartwheeling all around the boat. Right, Justin?
Yes, we did. And also in February, the water was, I think, 53, 54. We caught the yellowtail.
Yeah. 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 So I think we're back into some really good stuff. If you guys want a big giant 100-pound bluefin, I think you missed it. You might see them, but I don't think
It'll be really funny if the bluefin don't show. It's going to shut down a lot of these speedboat charters. It's going to be, I don't know. To me, it's going to be really funny. But people are going to have to start adapting to real fishing out here. So.
Yeah, and that's why you guys, the guys that you're looking at right now, and Pablo, who keeps popping in and out, are going to do really well this year, because these are the guys that can fish for fish. Like I've said a million times in a million different podcasts and on a million different stages, anybody can drop a bobber out and catch a bluefin. There's really no talent involved in that. That's not a talented thing. Jump on a little kayak or a little skiff and go out there and catch yellowtail trolling around the kelp, or jump on Justin's boat and go catch sea bass and yellowtail and barracuda and bonita and bass every single day, or jump on the boat with Captain Al. Go fish in the back bay, catch bonefish. Is that incredible? I'm still, it's been a year and a half since I did it with Al, and I'm still like on a pink cloud the day that Al took me in the back bay and I caught all those bonefish. And when I saw those little guys catching bonefish 2 days ago on your boat, Al, and I told that one young man, I'm like, dude, you'll remember this day for the rest of your life, the day you caught a bonefish in San Diego. And as you tell that story, most people won't even believe it, because you got to get on a plane and fly to Belize or go to Central America or go down to Florida or somewhere and go stealth fishing for bonefish. No, you go on Al's boat, the water's brown, you drop a ghost shrimp in the water and catch a bonefish. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to bring up something to make it a better understanding for everybody. So when Dave talks about the barracuda and the bonita will come, and you're thinking, well, we're already catching those right now. Well, there's always going to be our native fish that they migrate over here and then they find themselves a home. And then there's the migratorial fish. The migratorial fish come in giant schools, huge schools of millions and millions of fish. So what Dave's talking about is Dave's talking about the migratorial fish. When those start coming in, it's going to be absolutely insane out here. So like the barracuda, when the barracuda start coming in, they start feeding on those anchovies. It's going to be something that some of you have never seen before. These fish are going to just be driving out to the spot and see these fish jumping and flipping all over the place for no reason whatsoever. They're just having a good old heyday, and they're migratorial fish. So you see it's over at Catalina. We're catching the yellowtail. We're catching barracuda and bonita right now. Those are the ones that have found themselves a home and are staying here. There's a lot of them, but there's way more migratorial fish. So that's what I just want to make sure everyone got that clear.
Yeah, no, that kind of broke it down good and made all the sense in the world. And I think Mikey's going to see some really cool stuff in his range that he hasn't got to see for a long time. You got a chance, Mikey. You're going to catch salmon in that canyon right there, the La Jolla Canyon. Back in the day, we used to catch king salmon.
No way. Are you serious?
Dude, I used to run trips where we only fished for salmon.
Out of where were you running those trips out of?
Dana Point Harbor.
What years was that?
Fishing the canyon in front of Dana Point. That had to be late 80s, early 90s. We had the trawlers from Oregon and Washington down fishing in front of Dana Point. They had them down there in the Carlsbad Canyon. They had them in the La Jolla Canyon. We got cold water again, gang. That fish those king salmon migrate right on down the coast into Mexico and right back up the coast. There's so much cool stuff that happens in Southern California when the water's cold.
My buddy Doug, one of the Your Saltwater Guide members, he got a salmon last year right outside the harbor right here. Really nice one, silver salmon.
So what we used to do,
he was fishing the bottom and he accidentally got this. How did he hook that salmon?
He was fishing for a halibut.
We would catch them in the schools of sand bass, Mikey. We would catch them on the flats when we were fishing. But the really easy way to get them back in the day, when those big migratory schools like Justin's talking about of that barracuda, when that stuff comes into Southern California, it's got giant white sea bass underneath the schools, and there's giant king salmon. And the way we figured it out, and it was by accident, we run a charter, 44 people, 44 rent rods. You go out there and people get big backlashes in the reel, and you go over there and you start to pick the backlash out, and that means their lure, their blue and white or their green and yellow lure would sink down below the barracuda 150, 200 feet as you're picking. All of a sudden, you're picking the backlash out, and the rod would bend over double, and you'd be like, what the heck? And you bring it up, and there'd be a 50-pound king salmon or a 40-pound king salmon, and you just go, what? And so then...
Or a 40-pound white sea bass.
Or a 40-pound sea bass. So then the guys that were good, that knew what was going on, we'd get into that school of barracuda, and you drop her loop down a mackerel 150, 200 feet underneath that school, and then you'd get those whoppers, the big sea bass and the big salmon, and it was an everyday experience. You could do it every day.
Yeah.
And
wow.
That's a migratory
it's all about
barracuda.
fishing those schools of barracuda, huh?
Yep. They bring everything. Everything swims with that barracuda, and you can catch lots of yellowtail in the middle of the schools of barracuda fishing live mackerel. We haven't been able to talk about it because it's been so long, but I think we're into a new cycle. I really do. And I think it's going to be incredible. I think you're going to get to see some really cool stuff, especially on your small boat out there, and you don't have to cater to 100 people a day. Like when I was doing it, we had anywhere from 60 to 90 people on the boat every day. So it was hard to focus on not catching 1,000 barracuda and 1,000 sand bass.
It's all about the numbers, right? Yeah, that's why I'm blessed. I get to go out and fish my style and how I want to fish for what I want to fish, and I'm looking forward to and learning this style of fishing and learning all that stuff and experiencing it too, because that's the beauty about Southern California.
And then what'll separate all the other charter boat companies and everything, there's a handful. Don't get me wrong. There's a handful of guys that actually know what's going on, but Justin and Al, they've been there. So they're gonna excel this year, while the other guys are going out day in and day out looking for a fish that's not here anymore. These guys are going to be going out day in and day out catching fish for their members. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm super excited about the potential of this season.
How's Pablo doing? What's Pablo catching right now?
I don't know. He's not on here anymore. I don't know. I'll call him.
What? Put up the picture of our fish yesterday.
Oh, that's right. I have that. Hold on. I got that. There you go.
We had a tough day, but there you go. There's some fishies, huh?
There's some.
Can everyone name every one of those fish?
Go ahead, Captain Al.
Let me get my card out.
I see. We got a sheephead in there. It looks like you got one copper.
You got some reds.
Yep.
Is that a big Boccaccio on the bottom? The big long one?
Yep.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14.
Okay, you ready? You want me to do it?
Green, you got a green stripe too. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
Okay, so the very top, you got a vermilion rockfish. Right underneath of his tail, you have a starry-eyed rockfish. Yep. Underneath his chin, you have a Boccaccio, or what we call a salmon grouper. Then underneath the salmon grouper's chest, you have a male sheephead. On underneath the salmon grouper's chin, you have what we call a copper rockfish, or a chucklehead, or a knucklehead. Underneath the sheephead, you have a vermilion rockfish. Underneath, or on top of the copper rockfish, you have a small boccaccio. Then underneath the vermilion, you have a green striped rockfish. Then underneath the boccaccio, you have another boccaccio with his mouth open. Then my very most favorite fish of all of them, underneath the green striped rockfish, is what we call a chili pepper. And if I was with you, I would have marked that spot because there's never one, and those are the very best. Then dead center in the middle is another vermilion. Then off of the vermilion's nose is a boccaccio. Then underneath the vermilion's chest is a boccaccio. Then there's another boccaccio. And then that last fish that's kind of laying there with his fins up in the air, it could be a copper or it could be a starry. It's hard to see because all we can see is his bottom.
Very good. Very good. That was amazing. Right? You did pretty dang good.
I commercial fish rock cod for 20 years.
That's pretty dang good. That chili, man. The very best
of all of them. Oh
yes,
my God.
I told Paul you want to eat it.
That size is butter.
Yep.
That's a buttery little fish, but I'm calling Pablo again for the third time. Hopefully he answers. But that's something that's super important, gang, is you got to be very, very careful when you catch those rockfish, because the vermilions that you see on the screen there, you can only have 2 of them. And they don't have a sense of humor if you have 3. They don't have a sense of humor. All you can hope and pray for is that the guy doesn't know the difference. But if he has one of Al's picture books, you're in big trouble. And that copper rockfish, Mikey, aren't those down to 1 per person?
Yeah, they're 1 now.
So dumb because, gang, there's bazillions of coppers. It's almost impossible to not catch them. And you're allowed 1. That's another regulation that should have never been done.
And then I saw that now there's no size limit for cabezon and greenling, I believe.
And how dumb is that? What does that accomplish? No size limit. So you're going to have people catching 4-inch and 6-inch cabezon and sculpin.
And
what are you going to do with that?
You're going to have a 1-inch fillet of a sculpin?
I guess it's supposed to give you a warm, fuzzy feeling that you can catch a bunch of babies. All these regulations, if you guys watch the Fish and Game Commission's meeting, the 5 people that are setting all this stuff up, you can see right through them. They've never been outside.
Well, one of them had a chance to go on a boat one time, but the boat broke down.
That's right. And then they didn't get to go because they forgot that they didn't get to go.
Yep, exactly. But they know all about fishing.
Yeah, if you want to see something that'll make your blood curdle and make you laugh really hard, Mikey, you should join us on that meeting on the 16th and 17th. I give the QR code. I'll put it back up on the screen right now. But if you want to see who these people are that are setting these regulations and these size and possession limits, you're going to be blown away. You're going to go, how can these 5 people control what we do? And what I'm going to use the word, gang, as you're watching this, it's got nothing to do with fish, which you all don't. You guys will fight me to the death. Oh, no, it doesn't. The word I used is control. This is about control, not about fish in any way, shape, or form. It's about control.
And the one lady that, if you go look on my Facebook, I've been posting her, blasting her everywhere. She has lost her mind. One thing, she's racist as all hell. She says white people are the problem. What? Everybody fishes. Well, hopefully everyone fishes. She's a paddleboarder or a kayaker, not paddleboarder and canoe or something weird, and she goes across the bay over in Marina del Rey, MDR. And she wants to protect everything. And then the person that's on her side is someone that spoke at one of the shows, who's a shore fisherman who is also trying to make it so it's catch and release only for fishing. So it's absolutely unreal. Unreal. And
these
and
people-
the false statements that she makes that the sand bass are being commercially fished. No, they're not. There's no commercial fishing on sand bass. And then the other thing she said is to follow the science on the sand bass. But then at the very beginning of her statement, she says that there is no science of the fishery. It's all done through CPVs or the logs that the captains use. But then she contradicts herself and says, "Oh, there's science on sand bass." I don't know.
Yeah, so grab everybody that's listening, grab the QR code, be a part of the meeting. We got to slow down these closures. We got to be able to have fish for Mikey to fish for, my grandkids, Captain Al, Pablo, Justin, and you, gang. You got to have something to fish for. But they don't want us fishing. They want to control what we do. So we need to show up to these meetings. Like I pulled the curtains back, Mikey, and a bunch of our members, we had over 150 people at the meeting last month, and they've never seen anything like it before. And this is a direct effect of what you're doing right now. So you should at least go look at these people that are making the decisions and figure it out on your own and see what you think of them. We're all invited through that QR code.
I see that code right down there.
What?
I see that QR code, and they'll probably be making the announcement, or they'll be talking about salmon also in California, shutting that down for a third year in a row, probably, huh?
So
absolutely.
So they're not going to make an announcement for it because they want to try to hide things, get it pushed through, and then they'll let you know what they've already decided. So you really have to be on it and find out what's going on, because just like the other day or other week after the PCS show, Dave didn't even know that they were doing a MPA meeting until the last second that day, the day of. No one's aware of any of this stuff because they try to hide it behind our backs. My suggestion is we come up with our own rule or law, or whatever you want to say it is, and bring it to the board. So then they have to fight against us to make it not go through. Because we're always on the defense, we need to start being on the offense. So if we go to them and show them proof, like the MPAs have caused more damage than good, then we can go over there and say, this is why we want to get rid of the MPAs. There's no kelp forest anymore. That's natural habitat for the fish, and so on and so on. It's the sea urchins are eating all the kelp, so on and so on. If we brought that to the actual board, now those people that want to get rid of fishing, which there's less of them than us, are going to have to fight against it. And if not enough of them show up, and if we hide it behind their back like they do us, then we win.
Right.
So that's something that we should do. I really think we should. We need a good attorney. Any good attorneys on here?
All right.
What happened to Dave?
Hey, I'm going to jump off of here, you guys. I got a bunch of stuff I got to go do. But good meeting you.
I'm working on my boat.
I'll reach out to you about getting some bone fishing in the back.
All right, cool. All right, man. We'll see you guys later and have a great weekend. Go fishing.
All right.
Later, guys.
Everyone's leaving? All right. See you guys later. I had to run in there. Marley was having a problem. Gang, thank you very much for watching the show today. I hope you all had a good time. Hope you learned something. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.